Hi, guys. Welcome back to... never mind. Let's skip the formalities. A loud scream. Today is the day when some hi-fi land's hi-fi saintess is given in marriage to a hi-fi villain, but boy, do our protagonist not take this lightly. He, an inner disciple of the sect, stands tall in front of everyone and calls them shameless pups. He wants justice for the saintess. He will not stand for the villain stealing his chick. Even the audience is amazed at his audacity. They talk about how he has gone insane and is talking shit in the hall. The senile old man questions the intentions of Protagonist. He reminds the protagonist how much he has suffered in the past to be an inner disciple, and if the protagonist is ready to throw it all away. The old guy releases his aura from the bottom of his ass. The pressure is so immense that everyone gets scared and suppressed. Even the protagonist is shook. He tells the old man that he just wants justice. He insults the hi-fi villain and calls him hell. The saintess looks at this villain named Goo and calls his name. Meanwhile, the Giga Chad Goo is just sitting in his chair with his eyes closed. Goo thinks in his mind that he's a transgressor, a villainous transgressor, the type who gets stepped on by the protagonist 100 out of 100 times. But this is the 101st time. Goo looks at a flying screen in front of his eyes. He has a system to help him beat the shit out of Hero. The system shows luck of people around him. Ordinary people have the lowest luck ranking, red. However, the hero in front of him has green or level 4 luck. Our Giga Chad's own luck is black or level 0. The protagonist yells at Giga Chad, daring him to say anything. Goo just closes his eyes in response. However, everyone else in the hall lose their shit and start throwing insults at the protagonist. Our protagonist is shocked, he thinks, as to why everyone is against him, even though his talent is the highest. Even Saintess, or the chick of our main character, doesn't support him. Our Giga Chad is truly satisfied with this humiliation of the protagonist. The protagonist yells at Goo to take action. Goo's sidekick kicks in to beat the shit out of the protagonist. The protagonist, however, makes the face of a dead goose and prepares to attack. Goo watches this fight nonchalantly, waiting for the protagonist to win. Protagonist comes through and uses 9 skills Prince technique to beat the sidekick. Everyone present is impressed. A couple of girls fall in love. Our Giga Chad Goo simply smiles and thinks that the protagonist is just showing off his skills. He calls out to the saintess and asks her, "Did you always trust Chen?" He told Chen that he knew she was just acting to stay calm, so I won't hurt the protagonist. Goo took a sip of whatever the hell he was sucking and told Saintess that it had gone empty. When the Saintess was filling the pot again, Goo decided to grab her hand. He told her to not touch the hot pot or her pretty hand will be injured. Not gonna lie, guys. Giga Chad Goo is also a cringe simp. The protagonist is enraged by Goo's actions. He loses his shit and glares at Goo. His luck gets a 10 deduction. Goo, on the other hand, makes a face that only a mother could love and thinks that this shit has become immensely interesting. The main character shouts, "How dare you touch my girl," and farts out fire. Goo theorizes that today, if I did not have the system, the protagonist would have beaten the living shit out of my sidekick, who happens to be a holy son. Then, after a few more years, he would have came back to kill me to avenge the shame today. But he thinks that he has read countless such shitty novels, and no bullshit plot armor will save this MC. Goo gets up from his seat and shouts, "This matter is related to me. I don't need no one else to solve it." Protagonist looks on with hatred and says, "You think I fear you?" Goo comes out of his shell of simpness and simply states, "Your fearlessness is just your ignorance." After saying this, he releases his purple fart aura and it covers the whole room. The protagonist is not even able to withstand the aura of Goo. Protagonist tries to strike Goo but instantly falls on his knees under immense pressure. Goo simply asks the MC, "What do you want to say now?" The audience lose their shit. They think as to how strong Goo is. Even the saintess is scared shitless. She stands up all flustered. The old geezer is also afraid of offending Goo. Gu gets a notification that if he hits the MC in public, then his luck will increase by 50 points, but Protagonist's luck will decrease by 10 points. Gu asks the system, "If I kill this useless bastard here, will he get some exorbitant sum of fate points?" The system tells Gu that, "Nah, brew, you're biting more than you can chew, and it will backfire." The system tells him that he can't kill the MC or any of his close relationships. The best Gu can do is suppress their luck till the fated battle finally happens. The old geezers start sucking Gu's meat. They deep-throat Gu's shalunga-blunga and tell him how strong he is. Gu, on the other hand, simply smiles and acts humble. MC loses his shit and tries to attack Gu again. Gu, on the other hand, stops his attack using his crazy force field type of shit. Gu bitch slaps MC and the MC flies to the wall, his body slamming in a pillar as he splatters at least 3 buckets of blood. The MC is then grabbed by few other disciples of the sect and taken away. Gu jumps back to the saintess and invites her to see the moon with him. The heroine, under pressure of her father, agrees to see the moon with Gu. Mech Open, witnessing this, loses another bucket of blood and faints. With that, 100 fate points and lesson from MC and added to Gu's luck. We jump back to some past memory where the father of Saintess is begging Saintess to please Gu, for he can save their family from turmoil as he is from a higher world. Giga Chad Gu is sitting in his room when a scout appears out of thin air. He tells Gu that he anticipated everything correctly, that the Supreme Elder of the sect is dead, and they needed Gu the most to save their sect. Santessa's mother was someone from the upper realm, the realm which Gu belongs to. She was captured by people from the upper realm, and now the father needs MC to check on his wife. Gu simply tells the scout to keep an eye on Chen, which is the name of MC who's locked up in a dungeon. After the scout disappears, a notification pops up which says, "You got a reward." Upon opening, Gu receives some fancy-looking items. He also gets a shard of some tree, which can be used to form a world inside the body. Upon further cultivation, Gu releases a strong aura that shakes the earth, and the light travels up to the sky. Everyone around the house sees this and is shocked by how strong Gu is. Saintess, after seeing the aura, is shocked. It is revealed that she has 2 souls in her body, and the other soul is also gobbling down Gu's meat, telling Saintess that Gu is a strong and calm person. Gu thinks that all of his cultivation has improved simply like that. He thinks that he wants to steal even more from Ye Chen and get even stronger. He then makes face of a hateful bastard and thinks Chen's death is coming. Chen, on the other hand, is beating walls with his hands in the dungeon and thinking how he was humiliated. Just then, a soul comes out of the ring which Chen is wearing. Gu, upon seeing the soul, asked her as to why she didn't come out earlier to save him. The master admitted that at the time, she was scared shitless. The soul tells MC to not be reckless. MC, on the other hand, tells the soul as to how she can say that. She know that Saintess has a special physique. Soul just says to not mess with Gu. However, MC says he was just struck with bad luck before. The MC comes up with the vilest plan. He tells the soul that this sect is sitting on top of a dragon vein. Other sects don't try to take such a special treasure because they are scared of the Supreme Elder. However, if the soul can leak the knowledge that the Supreme Elder is dead, then all other sects would launch an attack which will give MC the opportunity to escape. The soul tells MC to not be a petty son of a witch, that the sect has taken care of him for many years, and that he can't be ungrateful. MC simply tells the soul that he does not care. We jump to the other scene where the Saintess and MC are drinking wine, and the MC is telling her how big the upper realm is. The other personality of Saintess continues to suckle on the bosom of Gu and tell Saintess she should choose Gu rather than Chen. Saintess then asks the MC if Gu can take her to the upper realm, and whether he would be able to protect her in the upper realm or not. With this remark, Ye Chen's luck further decreased by 40 points. while Gu's luck increased by 200 points. He asks Scientess if she is sacrificing herself so I can leave Chen alone. The scientist tells him that it's not like that, and that the sect and his father are more important to her than Ye Chen. Scientess calls Gu her prince and tells him that she has the nine-yang physique. This further damages Ye Chen's luck by 40 points and increases Gu's luck by 200. Scientess confesses that her physique is impressive, but it is nothing when compared to thousands of years of her sect, and that if Gu can help out the sect, she will dedicate her life to Gu. Gu just hears this, slyly smiles. Gu asks why she told something so important to him. He can use her for his own advantage. The Saintess simply says that she relies on his character. Gu simply gets up from his seat like a true gigachad and tells Saintess that he will pretend that he didn't hear something. That if she just wants to win him over from her physique, that's not possible. The Saintess tries to reach out to go, but he slaps her hand. The split personality thinks that even a beauty can't win him. With that, we end today's episode. Smash that like button if you want to see continuation of this series. Today's like goal is 15. I hope you guys have a very nice day.